Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel and thank you so much for joining the channel today. If you are new here, please do not forget the subscribe button is found here. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you turn on the notification bell so that when I post the next video, you would be the first to watch. So today's videos, guys, I want to talk about Turkish residence permit. I beg your pardon. We are going to be talking about the Turkish residence permit and what you need to do, or some of the things you should know in case your permit is rejected. You should know that that is what has contributed to the permit. And again, remember that the Turkish residence permit, there are certain things that you need to do. If you must enter into Turkey, there are things that you need to do in order to get the Turkish residence permit. And if you do them opposite, you are not going to get the permit, guys. And the permit is either going to be in two types. It's either you get the working permit or you get the student permit, all right? But in all, it is called the residence permit. Whichever one you get, then that is fine. Now, a lot of international students are moving to Turkey because they are actually looking for where to settle, not because they want to go to school. Of course, I understand. Most of us, we are migrating because we want to work, all right? But because we cannot get the work visa, it is very difficult for us to use other visa types or for us to enter into these countries. Let me put it this way. If you want to go to Turkey, you must get a work visa. Not so. If you want to go to Turkey via school, you must get a student visa. But because most of the times when we apply for these things, we are being rejected. We are left with no other choice rather than to find ourselves into Turkey so that we can begin to do these things. And most of us, especially I think about 60% of Africans, they are not moving to Turkey because they want to actually study, they want to work. But because you are not able to get a job in a proper company in Turkey, for the company to give you working documents to apply or employment offers to apply for your residence permit or your working permit to Turkey, it becomes very difficult for you to get a Turkish residency. So I'll be talking about some of these things that you need to know. And one of the reasons that a lot of people use, all right, or let me say the most common ways that people use to enter into Turkey is using the tourist visa. Yeah, in 2018, 2019, 2020, it was very easy and affordable for you to use the tourist visa and you enter into Turkey. But nowadays, using the tourist visa looks somehow tedious, and of course, a lot of complications are associated to it. Now, I want to also draw your attention to the fact that this residence permit in Turkey, when you get the study visa, enter into Turkey, that is a study visa, all right? When you are in Turkey, you need to get a student residence permit. Or if you are going as a worker, you need to get a working permit. However, it is called the residence permit. Now, a lot of people use let me say the tourist visa and move into Turkey and they want to convert it. Of course, it was very easy before to convert this document, but nowadays it is going to be difficult, all right? And the tourist visa, remember, the tourist visa expires after 30 days. The visit visa expires after 30 days, and the business visas expires after 30 days, and probably the medical visa, it depends, may equally expire after 30 days, but it depends now on the duration. Remember, for you to get the medical visa, you need to be going for medical checkup, and you must have probably paid your medical fee to the let me say a specialized doctor in Turkey, all right? You must be able to show the embassy that you have paid the fee, and you must be able to show the embassy that you have an invitation letter from a medical doctor in Turkey. And this medical doctor must be a certified medical doctor. He should be known by the state, all right? And most of the times, international students, they apply for this without knowing all of this. And at the end of the day, you get rejected. Now, if you use a tourist visa, first of all, let me tell you that if you use a tourist visa to go to Turkey now, it is going to be very tedious and difficult for you. If you are 22 years, all right, below 22 years, let me put it this way, I'm looking at my Jota, do not apply for the business visa. Business visa is strictly for business persons. And though you want to use the business visa to enter into Turkey, but if you try to do this, they may reject you. All right, they may reject you. Do you know why they are rejecting you? Because of the age. If you are below 22 years, don't apply for a business visa. But above that age, you can apply for a business visa because, of course, you know you are going for business, you have to be able to convince people that you are a business person, you are strong enough to do business. They cannot be giving a visa to a 22 years old. Probably you, of course, you are qualified, but the age is a problem. All right. There are other requirements. I will be bringing another video to talk about the residence permit in Turkey in 2023 and some new requirements that have been added to the system. Now, if you are below 18 years, don't apply for a study visa. You are applying for the study visa because you want to move to Turkey and, of course, study and, of course, get a residence permit. But if you apply for a study visa, your visa will be rejected, guys. Your visa will be rejected. There are a lot of things that are associated with visa rejections nowadays. The first one is proof of funds, and the second one is the age limit. Especially in Northern Cyprus, the government in kktc, which is the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, I beg your pardon. If they see that they already have a law, if you are now applying to a university and they say the minimum age for bachelor's degree is 24 years and you're 25 years, you applied, probably they may not see it from the system, or maybe someone trying to fraud the system and give you the admissions letter. When you reach the Aegean airport, they will deport you. All right, you have to be very careful about this. Therefore, students below 18 years or 18 years and below should not apply for study visas. Because the reason is the Turkish government is trying to implement laws, all right, to bind all these agreements. And if you are below 18 years, you are telling them that you will be living in Turkey alone, right? Because you cannot move with a dependent. Of course, you can travel, you can move with a dependent, but this dependent will not be able to live long. Turkey is trying to bring in a lot of limitations now. So please, if you are below 18 years, I will advise you reach 18 years before you apply for a study visa. This is very important. Please don't take this as a joke. Then if you are above 25 years, don't apply for a bachelor's degree in Turkey. If you apply for a bachelor's degree and you are above 25 years in Turkey, they will not give you the visa. Even if you succeed and you get the admissions, to get a visa is a problem. All right, there are certain age limits. You shouldn't do certain things now in Turkey because they know a lot of people move in without going to school. They know this, and that is a fact. All right, so please just avoid this so that you don't get rejected, because even if you apply and you go for visa application, you'll be rejected. Even if you succeed and you move to Turkey, all right, it will be difficult for you to get the residence permit, because what you need is a study visa, and when you are in Turkey, what you need now is a residence permit. Please, this is very important. Now, these are some of the reasons, okay? These are some of the reasons for visa rejections. Now, let me talk about some of the reasons for the residence permit rejections, okay? Now, if you are moving to Turkey, like I said, if you succeed, if you are below above 25 years and you succeed and you enter into Turkey with a bachelor's degree, these are some of the things. Now you need a residence permit in Turkey, right? You are moving in with a student visa. Now the residence permit may be rejected because you lack some certain documents or inadequate documentation. Like I already explained, if you are above and you get the visa, they will be doubting if you are going to get this done. Inadequate documentation will not give you a residence permit in Turkey. All right, you may be going to apply for the residence permit in Turkey because it is not done, it is done by the local government. Like there is an authority in charge that is going to give you the permit, all right, the residence permit. So by the day you are going to apply for your residence permit, you may be going where the individual in charge of this document is going through some emotional stress, or maybe going through some mood swings. You understand, the individual just look at you and refuse you the permit because they already know the rules in the system. They may just look at you like this and refuse giving you the permit as an international. It is very normal and very common as well. All right, then another thing is lack of documentation. There are other documents in Turkey that you need to get in order to get this residence permit. So when you don't get the documents or when you don't meet the requirements, I'm going to bring a video to explain to you how you can get your residence permit or the documentation you need in order to get your residence permit. It's just I want to update the video because there are new updates for 2023. If you don't go with adequate documentation, or if you have inappropriate documentations, you will not get the residence permit in Turkey. All right, then again, there is another thing people are forgetting to know. In Turkey, people are calculated, or let me say there is a censor. There is something called censor. And in most neighborhoods in Turkey, let me say in Istanbul, in the various neighborhoods in Istanbul, they know how many people they need per neighborhood. All right. And how do they get to know about this? Only the system can tell them these are the number of internationals that already have a permit or a residence permit. So before you go to this neighborhood, if you are going to be living in this neighborhood, if you are already in Turkey and maybe when you want to apply for your residence permit, they notice that the number of people in this particular neighborhood has actually surpassed the number that they need, they would refuse your permit. They will not give you. All right. They will not give you. So these are some of the things that will lead to your rejections, and people don't know. All right, when they reach the and another thing, when they reach the maximum number of people they need per, that's number of people, international students or internationals per neighborhood, they stop giving the permits. All right, another thing is, and they don't care whether you are legal or not, you are the one to face the consequences if you are illegal, because you need the residence permit, and there is a number on it. They call it residence card. There is a number on it that you will be needing in case you want to apply for another visa to another country. So you need to put this into consideration, guys. It is very, very important. Please don't make an error. All right. Then the residency, for you to get it, I would advise you to use a medical visa rather than a tourist visa. But again, like I told you, you need to have paid for your medicals. You need to show a valid documents that you are sick. You need to show an invitation card from your doctor. All right. All these things have to come into play. Otherwise, you are not going to get these documents. Remember, Turkey is nowadays, let me say, for you to apply for these visas to Turkey, even the study visa, you don't go through the Turkish embassy again. Directly, you don't go through the Turkish embassy, but you can go through the external agent put in place by the Turkish embassy. That's the Turkish embassy has a particular agent in almost all countries now where the Turkish diplomatic missions are, where if you go to apply for a visa, even if you go to the Turkish embassy, nobody will attend to you. They will refer you to this agent, okay? So when you want to apply for a visa now, you need to go through the agency. I think it is called Voya Visa, something like that. I don't remember the name, but you have to check. Go to the Turkish embassy's website, verify all the details, then you can then continue from there. It is very easy like that. Please don't use the tourist visa to migrate to Turkey. It is going to cause you a lot of issues. Use a student visa or other visa categories that you can easily swap. I talked about the medical visa, but you cannot go and you are faking maybe that you are sick, you want to go to, and remember, you are not just sick. If you are showing documents that you are going for medical treatment, it should be a particular disease. All right, it is not everything that you just enter and say, I want to go to Turkey, I have malaria. No, that is not how it works. Please pay attention to all these details, and remember that if you don't have it, you have to return. But like I said, I will always advise you, return before you go again. But when you are returning, make sure, because some people, when you go to apply for this permit, you may be rejected. All right, maybe you meet some group of people, they will be like, we paid we looked for a lawyer, we paid, and the lawyer did it for us, and we got our permit. Then you now go and pay your own. At the end of the day, they will chop your money. All right, if you are rejected the first time, you can do this application yourself without anybody. All you need to do is to follow the procedures, okay? And if you are chopped the first time, if you are rejected the first time, please don't apply again. That is my advice. Just find a way, move out, then you enter again. I think it will be preferable that way. They will look at you as a good tourist. But before you move out, make sure your permit is still valid. Because if it has expired before you move, when you want to go again, they will not agree, because they will know that you overstayed. Though you can pay for your overstay, but it will be very difficult for you to get it the second time if by the end of the day you don't move outside, because you are a tourist. You know that you are a tourist. You are not supposed to stay more than the number of days given to you. So they know all these things. So try to strategize well, all right, so that you avoid issues with people. I hope this video helps you. Please do not forget, share the video for us till we meet again in another one.